Quick question, right now, in this exact moment. Which hero do you secretly wish you could be? Because the hero you would love the most isn't random, it's a mirror. It quietly reflects back to us what we value most in life. And who we are still trying to become, even if we don't admit it out loud. Today I am taking you on a deep, honest, and sometimes emotional journey together through 9 different kinds of heroes. From the shining, almost perfect legends, all the way to the beautiful broken ones that feels so human. I promise you that if you stay until the end, you will know what your favorite hero says about you. You're probably asking yourself why we need heroes. Ever since the humans sat around campfires thousands of years ago, we have told hero stories from ancient cave paintings and oral tradition passed down through generations to Greek myth, medieval legends, and today's massive blockbuster movies that make billions at the box office. We simply couldn't stop telling them. The Shining Ones. First, let's meet the heroes who almost feel too perfect. You have the classic hero, the chosen one. Imagine young Harry Potter, a lonely and abused orphan who spent the first 10 years of his life sleeping in a cupboard under the stairs, suddenly discovered on his 11th birthday that he's actually famous in the magical world he never knew that exists. He stands in front of the mirror of Erased and for the first time sees the faces of his parents smiling back to him. Moment so emotionally powerful that it still gives millions of people chills today. Characters like Buffy Summers and Link follow the exact same pattern. They beginning as simply ordinary people, discover hidden destiny, and rise up to face evil no matter how scared or unprepared they feel. Those heroes are incredibly inspiring, but sometimes they feel a little too clean, almost untouchables, like they were never truly tempted or broken the way we are in real life. Next came the epic hero, the living legend. Think about Hercules, performing his 12 impossible labors, battling terrifying monsters and goddesses that would make any normal person run away in fear. Or Goku on the battlefield, pushing his body and spirit to the absolute limits as he transforms into Super Saiyan for the first time. The true iconic scream, the golden hair, the explosion of power. Or Wonder Woman, Princess Diana, fiercely walking across no man's land in the middle of World War One, deflecting bullets with her bracelets, while exhausted soldiers watch her in complete awe and disbelief. These characters are larger than life, often literally born from goddess or royal bloodlines. We look up to them, we cheer for them, we got goosebumps watching them. But it's honestly very difficult to imagine them dealing with the same daily struggles, anxiety, or insecurities that we face in our normal lives. And then we reach superhero, the modern god walking among us. Superman catching a crashing passenger plane seconds before he hits the city. Black Panther, King T'Challa, fight with every ounce of his strength. intellect, and heart to protect Wakanda and its people.
The Elastic Girl.
Wrenching her body impossible ways to save her children from collapsing building. They look like normal people when they're not in costume, but they possess godlike powers. After watching so many spectacular battles and exploding cities, the central question in the stories eventually shift from do they have powers to something much deeper and more important. Are they consistently using those incredible powers for the right reason? 3. The human ones. Now we stop much closer into heroes who feel like they could actually live down the street from us. Meet the romantic hero, Mr. Darcy, standing in the pouring rain, swallowing every bit of his enormous pride and social superiority to confess. Victor Frankenstein, in his dark laboratory during a raging thunderstorm, obsessively trying to create life, only to be horrified by the monster he brought into the world. Heroi Suzumiya, completely rejecting the boring, ordinary world around her and trying to force excitement and meaning into existence. These heroes don't battle physical monsters, they battle society itself. Expectation, traditions, norms, and the way things are supposed to be. They're emotional, complicated, passionate, flawed, and often very messy, which is actually why so many people connect with them so deeply. In the very center sits the Everyman, Frodo Baggins, a simple hobbit, wanted nothing more than a quiet life in the Shire, yet ends up carrying the most dangerous object in the world, even though it slowly destroys him. Katniss Everdeen, stepping forward to take her little sister's place in a deadly game she probably wouldn't survive. Hiccup, weak, awkward Viking teenager who should have been a warrior but instead became the first person to truly to befriend and to ride a night fury through patience and kindness. No prophecy, no special powers, just regular, ordinary people thrown into situations far bigger than themselves, who still choose to stand up and do what's right. Those stories carry one of the most powerful messages of all. You don't need to be special or chosen to change the world. And then there are the relentless hero, the one who never asks for any of this. Spider-Man sitting on a cold rooftop at night, mask off, exhausted, wondering why he, of all people, has to keep saving the city. Aang running away from his responsibilities as the Avatar because he just wants to be a normal kid for a little longer. Invincible, getting brutal beating, covered in blood, yet forcing himself to stand up again and again. They argue with fate itself, but there always comes that one quiet, defining moment when they look at the suffering around them and say, if I don't do something, no one else will. That single decision changed everything. We reach the deepest and most painful kinds of heroes. The tragic hero. Oedipus, desperately trying to outrun a terrible prophecy, only to fulfill it in the most horrific way possible. Anakin Skywalker slowly falling into the dark side, watching his wife and everyone he loved burn because of his own fear and attachment. Antigena willingly choosing death rather than betraying her deepest moral beliefs. They carry a fatal flaw inside them. They can often see tragedy coming, but they still refuse to abandon their principles. Their endings are rarely happy, but their inner conviction remains unbroken. Then there's the catalyst hero, the spark that lights everyone else's fire. Obi-Wan Kenobi, allowing himself to be struck down with a calm smile so Luke can escape. Yoda, passing on his wisdom even as his own life fades. Optimus Prime, sacrificing himself for the greater good of the Autobots. They often die or disappear early in the story, but their sacrifice became the fuel that keeps the next generation fighting long after they're gone. At the very end, you find Antihero, Deadpool, casually breaking the fourth wall while eating chimichangas in the middle bloodbath. Venom growling, "We are Venom," right before doing something completely insane. Harley Quinn laughing maniacally as she swings her bat after years of trauma. They're not purely good. Many have dark paths and have done terrible things. They operate in the moral gray zones that clean heroes avoid. Yet, somehow, in their messy, sarcastic, and broken way, they're still trying to make the world a little less terrible. And for a lot of us, that feels very real and comforting. What your favorite heroes say about you. Now comes the part that actually matters. Let's do a quick but honest mental quiz together. If you are drawn to the shiny ones, you probably crave clarity, purpose, and believe that something bigger guides your path. If the human ones speak to you the most, you expect life is messy and difficult, but you still try to do the right things anyway. If the broken ones feel like home, you have known real pain, you understand moral complexity, and you still haven't given up or became cynical. Which type of hero want to become in the next chapter of your own story? They are powerful mirrors that show us who we are right now and who we still have the power to become. Because if these heroes can face their darkness and keep moving forward, so can you.